Okay, so what does my product help people with? Okay, it helps them dig deep into a deep discipline. They have to get discipline in life, okay? So other people are getting discipline through my product, okay? Other people are basically opening up channels of communication within themselves to get to a better mindset, to get to a better stage in their life. I help them basically earn more money. I help them basically get more discipline. I help them find much more wisdom points and things that helps them to gain wisdom, awareness, consciousness, something around helping them to break out of their mental health issues. I provide motivation through my quotes. I provide motivation content through my music, through my life coaching, through my journals, everything like that. You can read and you can go through my content, okay? And my content just helps people get to the next stage in life. And so it just helps them to really understand themselves as a person. It helps them to really understand how to get to the next stage in their life. So you have to realize that in my product over here, so I'm offering a product that helps people solely to help them to avoid jail, to help them avoid things that help them to get to a stage where they're earning much more in their life. Basically, that they're basically more disciplined than before, and they're helping themselves to get to the next stage in their life. So you have to realize, I want to say my product is a broad range of things. My product is a broad range of things. It goes from comedy, it goes from time management skills, it goes to music, to life coaching, to Serbian things, such as Serbian life coaching. It helps them. It's like this whole mastery session of things of mindset about Danny Milivojevic as a person and how this person has cultivated a mindset. For example, through studying, through learning, through writing, and all this kind of stuff. And it's like a Danny Milivojevic system. It's a Danny Milivojevic mindset. Okay. And now, why is my mindset very important? Is because my mindset's very positive. I'm a very positive individual, and I help people with motivation. I help people get to a better stage in their life. I help people to understand more about themselves. You have to understand. So that's why understanding that you have to sell your product. You have to sell your product to people. You have to sell who you are as a person. Okay, so by writing better copy is how you do that. Writing better copy is how you do that. So that's why I'm understanding that you have to understand each quote about what you're talking about, how you've helped people, how have you helped people, for example. And then what have you done to help people? And then you've posted content online, you've shared you shared your content to people. And then you've, for example, shared your advice to people around you. You understand? You've helped in some kind of way, and your product has value. Your product has value. So, for example, my product has value. So that's why I have to make sure that I'm selling my product to people, because that is how I make money. That is how I do things. That is how I grow myself as a person. But the main thing is just selling yourself, being yourself on camera, and just showing them to go and buy your product. You know what I'm saying? Because it's money back guarantee. But you have to understand that you have to be very clear and precise about your product. You have to be very clear and precise about your product and how it helps other people. Okay? So, for example, make sure you understand my product helps people based on what? How does it help people? So it helps people based on to get them to the level of success that they want to get to. You know what I'm saying? It helps them get to a higher stage of success. It helps them basically delay gratification. It helps them basically learn more and to really get more wiser as a person. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is that my product really helps people really to increase a broad range of skills in their life. You know what I'm saying? To get smarter overall as a person. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is that my ideas are life skills. So life skills are broad, aren't they? Life skills are all of life skills. You know what I'm saying? So you have to understand that my music is also techno genre. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is that I'm selling my product, but I'm also making sure that I'm getting to a point in my life where, I'm learning about my product as well. You know what I'm saying? But I'm also giving my product to other people. And I say I'm giving my product to other people, and I'm trying to get them to buy. But also I'm trying to sell my product to other people. I'm trying to sell my product to other people. I'm trying to make sure that they are that they are people who really understand my product and what it helps them with. You know, saying that my product really helps them to get to a better stage in their life. You know, saying, but maybe that's not enough. Maybe people have to know that it really helps them to get out of their issues that they have. For example, a person that is a mother who's struggling with their kids and needs advice about something that is going to help them to have a better mindset with their kids. You understand? Or for example, a person who is struggling mentally with drugs needs motivation, for example, or someone who, for example, is reading a book but doesn't have the ideas that they need, so they can search up Danny Milivojevic ideas, because Danny Milivojevic ideas has confidence and things that bring courage and helps them financially to have a financially literate mind based on life skills. You know, and so the thing is that you have to realize something. It's much more, just be yourself on camera, talk it out with yourself, really understand your product and what you're selling. You know, what are you selling, how are you selling it, and how are you gonna really make your product count as a person. You know, that's what you have to focus on. So anyway, I realize at the moment it's just that, when I'm selling my product, I feel that I skip sometimes what I want to say, for example, or I say something else, or my mind feels disorganized, for example, in terms of how I'm speaking my product to people. And so it's like when I speak to people, it's like I don't know how to explain my own product, but I do know what my product is. It's just that I have such a hard time explaining my product to people because it's so broad. My product is so broad about things. It's so broad about things. It's not specific enough. It's not specific enough for a specific person. So maybe I have to, for example, make my product for a specific person. For a specific person, not for everyone. Not so broad. Because broad things, no one wants to buy everything. No one wants to buy things that is broad. Okay, so you have to understand. No one wants to buy products that are broad mindset. People want to buy specific things. What problem are you solving? What problem are you solving? So, for example, my product, what it can really solve, okay, is get you from level 2 awareness to level 10 awareness. You know what I'm saying? And stuff like that. So, for example, you have to understand that. For example, so it's just like with all your product that you made, try to solve one problem with that product. What is the one problem that your product is going to solve for other people? You understand? So just one problem. Think of one problem that your whole product that you're selling is going to solve. You understand? And try to sell that product to other people based on that one problem. You understand? And then based on that one problem, you understand, when it's so specific about that one problem, you understand? When it's so specific about that one problem that it can solve, then it's going to have the right customer purchase your product. You understand? And that's what it is, but so try to look for one problem in the world that a lot of people are facing at the moment, and tell people that this product is going to solve that one problem. You understand? It's going to solve that one problem. And then that video that you say to them in terms of life, okay, in terms of your advertisement, make sure that it's not such a long video, okay? Make sure you understand that it's a video that basically is not a broad video. It's not a broad video talking about everything that you're selling in the product. You're just talking about the problem that you're solving. You're just talking about one problem that you're solving in your product that you're offering them. You understand? And then it's a money back guarantee. It's a money back guarantee. It's one problem that they'll solve using this method. You understand? And that's it. And once they understand, oh, okay, I want to solve that problem, so they're going to buy your product. Okay, they're going to buy your product because of one problem that they want to solve. And then guess what? They're going to open your product. They're going to go through it, and then they're going to learn. They're going to learn. They're going to learn. Okay, but you got the money. You got the money based on one problem that you solved for them. You understand? And that's it. And then it's money back lifetime guarantee. And the more they learn in your product, the more they're going to realize what the product is about and stuff like that. You understand? And stuff like that. But the hook is that one problem that you're solving for them. It's that one problem that you're solving for that person or the customer. And when you solve that one problem for them, so you solve them one problem, for example, that they're really wanting to solve for themselves, okay, that's going to help them to get to the next stage in life. Okay, that's going to help them to get to the next stage in life. And so based on your problem, that's what you solve. You solve problems. You solve things for people. You make sure you solve problems, a lot of problems for people. And then try to sell this product to people. Try to sell your product to other people. And then try to sell who you are as a person. Because that's how you grow. That's how you sell yourself into a life that's much better. Okay? So focus on that. Focus on your life. Focus on getting to the next stage in your life.